The core of life, which people understand, is called the Ojas. Ojas is actually one of the three forces that is working within the body. It's the projection, it's the energy of the mind and the emotions. Ojas actually is like a container which holds abundant energy. It is the reserve within the body and keeps the mind balanced, for it allows the willpower to expand continuously at the body as well as the mind level. On a physical level, it is one of the major factors for reproduction, hormonal changes, cerebrospinal fluids. But the most beautiful thing is that is just one of the aspects. The second core aspect is balance, solace, and bliss. The third aspect being contention, happiness, and joy. All these 9 elements are part of the Ojas, and the more Ojas we have, we are more impervious to the negativity, for our own spirit is good, strong, and powerful. Ojas in reality gives us an overall sense of satisfaction with life. For in day-to-day life, we are utilizing or wasting the Ojas on a lot of things which in reality has no connection with us. When we utilize the Ojas, you find that the Ojas rejuvenates itself, recreates itself, develops itself, grows on its own. But when we waste it, it creates a duality, it creates a doubt, it creates a sense of being useless. We have seen people doing that at multiple areas of life. People might be doing too many methods, too many tools, too many techniques, which they perceive to give them happiness, joy, or peace. But with the passage of time, they suddenly find that the Ojas is getting wasted on the doubt, questions, and a feeling of not reaching the projected goals in life. This is something that has to be understood in a deeper level. The whole practice of rejuvenation is about slowing the aging process, boosting the immunity and bringing the body, mind and emotion back to the state of harmonious balance. But when we say it slows down the aging process, does not mean the body will not wither. It means the spirit, in essence of the body, will be youth, will be always young. The immunity is at the body's energy level, and the balance is part of the mind and the emotion area. It allows one to expand when somebody is connecting oneself to the mind and energy level process. The more one is able to connect to the process where the mind and emotion are getting balanced, one finds that the rejuvenation happens on its own. Al is one of the process that allows to do that in the most easiest manner. Al is a pathway, is a method, is a tool for one to connect to the force of light and the path it generates for one to follow. As one follows the path, one finds that the truth that one has been perceiving, understanding and relating to has changed over a period of time, creating newer avenues, new methods and newer forms. The more one is connected to the path, one finds the expansion happening. The more one is mechanical, one finds the path is not opening up the way it should be. For one has to have the light and one has to be ready to be lighted up so that the pathway is seen, and each of the pathway is unique. One pathway will not be same and similar to the other, for it all depends on individual biasness, individual conditions, individual relationships. The more one is able to relate to the core of one's own conditions, one's own biasness, one is able to go deep. The process is small, as all the seekers of truth know that the pathway is quite small. It's all praise. It's more like a command. I am desiring certain things to happen and I want it to happen in the same manner. And the nature is allowing the path to open up, to work through the conditions being set forward. One is going ahead, connecting to it and expanding on that area based on the conditions one is having. As one walks through the pathway, one realizes that the conditions slowly wither away. The rigidity of the mind slowly opens up. That opening is being ready to be lighted up. Without being lighted up, one cannot see the path. Without being ready, one cannot even know what the light is. For each holds on to a certain norms, believing that the norms are right for this time and space. For their forefathers and people before them have been following that. And since they were following that, it should be right. It should be right as a condition. The right in itself changes with the passage of time, for the time in itself is a condition being set for our own satisfaction. The space in which we want to expand also is also a condition being set by us. We put a list of conditions within a span of time and space, feeling that it can be fulfilled. And this in itself cannot be fulfilled, for we are not ready. Even when we are not ready, the lighting can happen. The path can open up. But the will to move on the path is completely dependent on the individual. The moment one walks, it is a joining, it's a merging of 2 points. The point of the body conscious with the mind conscious, which expands at the emotional conscious. So it's the merging or union. The often used term you is also part of the union. When we just look at the physical body level, fully connecting to the postures. When we connect it to the mind, it talks about the sound. When we talk about the conscious, the silence remains. So the silence of the body is consciousness, merging within the silence of the mind consciousness and emerging as an active consciousness at the emotional level is what matters more, for it is a state of transformation. So with the passage of time, one finds that the transformation from the body level moves to the mind and then the emotional area. This in itself is a vital area. This is the Ojas Tattva, the rejuvenating force that allows one to move ahead at the body level, the mind and the emotion, so that one is able to connect to the force of life. The force of life is not the breath itself, the prana, as people talk about, but it is much beyond. The prana in itself having two words, the pra and the ana. The an is actually what? The satiating factor that satisfies, quenches the hunger and the thirst. The pra, which satisfies and quenches the thirst, is called the prana. For that satisfaction to happen, there is a conscious functional happening, which has its own body. Thus, it's Prana, Chitta, Sharira. The three words are three forms representing the body, the mind, and the emotion. The Prana representing the body, Chitta representing the mind, and Sharira representing the emotion. So whatever the prana is generating is getting connected at the mind level, getting projected at the emotional area. All of that coming under the force of the Chitta Bhava. That means the conscious form of emotion. It's the nature of the consciousness. At what level? The body, the mind, and the emotional areas. At the deeper levels, you find this transformation going much more deeper, connecting one to the light. And the light is what creates the prana, chitta, sharira to work upon the prana. The light is called tejomaya chitta, the light of the consciousness. Now there are three words, tej, maya and chit. Tej means light, maya means illusion that is not. Chit means again consciousness. So from the body level, we move to the mind level of the consciousness, is called the Tejomaya Chitta. The Tejomaya Chit is what allows one to connect to the experiences that one has gathered over multiple lives at one moment of time and space, giving you a state of realization. All is a projection of that. So, the emotional consciousness at the expressive level, at the expressive level is considered to be equivalent to that of a body. But the formation of the expression is happening at the subtlest level of the emotional consciousness called the Tejomaya Chitta. The Tejomaya Chitta is the awakening process, a transformative process that allows one to have the free will to disown, to let go, to detach oneself from the biasness, from the conditions one has been carrying on, from the body level, the grossest body level we are born with. And we are born in a certain kind of society, certain kind of culture, certain kind of religion, certain kind of philosophy, and over a period of time we have added up more number of information to the state of the body to work upon the state of the consciousness based on the conditionalities being given by the family, friends, relatives, society, and the country. Each one bestows one with a condition. Also triggers off the biasness. In between, at certain moments of time, we are able to see our own real self, but we immediately find that it's getting shadowed by the conditions that is very strong. Those conditions have a depth, and this depth is superfluous, yet very strong, for it projects that it's going to create harm for you if you remove them. And this fear factor is so strong that it keeps on going in cycles continuously. Whenever you are opening up, you find this condition setting. The more you want to open up, the more these conditions are getting settled. But these conditions don't set in when we keep the mind very busy. All is actually a process for you to light up the path which you have never seen, though known to you. It was part of you, it was always part of you. It was not against you, it was not for you, yet it was part of you. It was a path for you and for you only to walk upon. For people around you who are also doing something, they have their own path. Depending on the conditions they have set, they can walk blindly in hope that they would see the light, or they can light up, showing the pathway to others who want to walk on the path, to know, understand and realize the depth and the beauty of knowing the path in the most subtlest manner, and which is allowing one to go beyond the conditionalities without allowing or triggering any body emotions to come into effect. That is the beauty of Prana.